What's going on, everybody? Hope you all have an amazing day. And today we're going to be talking about the Man United at Old Trafford affair versus Aston Villa, of course. A game that I just don't think we deserve to draw, and it's a real shame. I'm going to talk about some of the points. Very angry at some certain referee decisions. Cough, cough. Don't know what that was. But anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about some key points, decisions, and performances that all impacted the result of the game. Stuff that we could improve on and stuff that we did well. Genuinely just points of the game. Really, let's get into it. Also, make sure you hit subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's go. So, at the start of the game, we came out, we looked alright, we had some moments of skill, some half-decent chances, but Man United mainly came out the stronger of the two teams, and that was the story of the first half, and to be honest, we went into the break probably deserved to be losing at that point. They were better than us. I mean, we had moments where we showed our quality, and we had some half-decent chances, but to be honest, wasn't too angry that we went into halftime losing, and the Martial goal... Togi gets stuck too far up the pitch. Then McGinn has to track back to cover the run of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Can't get there in time. It's across. Tyrone Mings God, man. Misses the header quite... It's going to be a rough video to film. Yeah, but he misses the header quite hilariously, to be honest. It wasn't the most gracious of attempts. And then Martial just turns it past the oncoming Martinez. Going the other way. Completely wrong-footed. Nothing he can do about that one. Bad goal to concede right on the stroke of halftime. In the first half, I thought Bertrand Traore was not at his finest. His set pieces were comical at times. Matty Cash, John McGinn, and Douglas Luiz were all brilliant in the first half for me. Matty Cash was keeping Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, and Scott McTominay and Paul Pogba at times quiet, which is very impressive from him. He was my man of the match today. He was absolutely brilliant. Almost scored as well. But moving on, John McGinn and Douglas Luiz were also absolutely brilliant. John McGinn used his body very well, and Douglas Luiz was very good with the ball at his feet. Ball at his feet yesterday. I'm recording this the day after the game. You're probably watching this 2 days after the game, of course. But he had moments where he just handled the ball well and kept it away from Man United players, which is all you can ask for from your more deep-lying midfielder, your true number 6, who's just going to sit in front of the back four and control and dictate play. And I thought he did that very well, Douglas Luiz. He's another very good player, and it's obviously unfortunate to give away the penalty. We'll get on to that later. And yeah, he had moments of skill where he just kept the ball away from Man United players, doing flicks and tricks, the true Brazilian flair, even for a rock-hard, tough-hitting Brazilian CDM. He still has that flair in him, of course. Very impressive, Douglas Luiz and John McGinn. And Matty Cash. But Dino clearly dug into them at halftime. He even said it in his post-match interview that he dug into them at halftime and told them that's not what we're about, that's not what we've been trying to show people this season, how much we've changed, how much the club has improved as a whole club, not just as a team, the backroom staff, obviously the players, the manager, how much experience we've added, all the change that we've added at the club, and all the change we've made not to perform like that in the first half at Man United at Old Trafford in such a big game. And we came out flying. We had the entire ball, and in the 57th minute, Bertrand Traore, who was having a great half already and did have a great rest of the half as well. Not so good in the first half, but clearly something clicked for him at halftime. He was brilliant in the second half. I'd probably give him a 7 out of 10 on a whole, 5 in the first half. 9 in the second half. He was absolutely brilliant for me, Bertrand. I just love the way he plays. Absolutely phenomenal player, in my opinion. Of course, pops up with another goal, and it all started. We were trying to take a quick free kick. Man United's doing the whole dirty little block the free kick like a 12-year-old thing. Get caught out on the left side. We whip in that cross, and Bertrand Traore has the time to take a touch and slot it in with his preferred left foot. Great goal for that one, and didn't last for too long because 2 minutes later, yeah, I'll put the picture on screen right here. It's just, there's minimal contact, if any. It's a throw-in from Shaw. Pogba shields Doug, and he gets it to the edge of the box. And then there's 50-50 contact. You got to remember, Paul Pogba is a lot taller and a lot broader than Douglas Luiz. Although Douglas Luiz is an aggressive little boy who will get in your face. Love that about Doug. But Pogba's got his arm out here. Douglas Luiz got his arm wrapped like right here. It's 50-50 contact using the upper body. And then their legs are a little tangled. It's no malicious intent. Doug hasn't even gone in for a challenge yet. Their legs just get a little tangled. There's minimal, if any, contact between the legs. And Pogba trips over his own feet, goes to ground. Referee shows no hesitation to point to the penalty spot. It's very unfortunate. And I think it was Paul Tierney or Anthony Taylor who was on VAR duty on the day. And the pitch ref doesn't even use the pitch side monitor. Like, that's what it's there for. If you're going to have such a call that's so controversial, clearly the VAR has got to be in Zeus saying, it's a tight one, go to the pitch side monitor, have a look at it. Because ultimately, if he'd done that and He's withstood his decision. He's confident in his decision. It's a lot different than not even getting the chance. I'd still be mad. I'd still be fuming at the decision, but it'd be like, oh, he's at least justified it. He's at least gone and reinforced his decision because he didn't get to see it again. Saw it once. He was listening to another bloke in his ear, another person's opinion. Go see for yourself. That's what it's there for. Absolutely fuming. Fernandes can't fault the finish, to be fair to him. I'm no big fan of Bruno Fernandes, but he can put a penalty away, I'll tell you that. Emi Martinez dove the right way, but it's got so much power. Struck right along the ground. Great finish, to be fair to Fernandes. And we're down 2-1. And then from there, we kind of knew what Man United were going to do. They were going to invite the pressure, and they were going to try to hit us on the counterattack with their pace, which they are very good at, to be fair to them. I am no big Man United fan, but they are good on the counterattack. They subbed on the likes of Daniel James to get the pace and just try to catch us out on the counter when we win their half. Didn't really do it too well, though. We kind of were in their half the whole game after the penalty decision. But I am very, very surprised Man United ended that game with 11 players on the pitch. Luke Shaw should have been and arguably should have been sent off for a double yellow. He was out. He had made some cynical challenges today on the likes of Bertrand Traore, Jack Grealish, Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash on that right-hand side. Not very happy with that. Matic, when he came on, was also very dirty. Bruno Fernandes, Fred, all had challenges that could have been yellow cards. The ref just didn't want to get out the code. He only wanted to get out the code for really bad challenges. You're like, yeah, you got to book him there. Of course. And Bruno Fernandes was going to get booked eventually. He was repeated offense, of course. But it's just, I'm very surprised they ended that game with 11 players on the pitch. It's played so dirty, but it's a way to play the game, I guess. But it was really frustrating to watch. And I know to some people watching this, I might be some butthurt, naive Aston Villa fan who's just fuming because they lost the game. That's seriously not the case. I actually think they were lucky to finish that game with 11 men on the pitch. And on another day, they could have easily got a red card. That's just my opinion. Of course, I'm going to know your opinion in the comments down below. Now, another issue I'd like to talk about is when we're going into the closing stages of these games and we need to pick up points, especially during this hectic festive period, you look to your bench. And when we look at Aston Villa's bench, we don't have a ton of players that could change the game. Yes, Jacob Ramsey and Keenan Davis are our main players off the bench. Sometimes Conor Hourihane can do a duty as well. Hourihane's proved when at certain levels in English football, and he can do a job, and he can score. He can hit in some good set pieces and maybe score a goal if he's given the service, but he's not going to drastically change the game. Jacob Ramsey can do that, but we can't expect it consistently. He is only 19 years old and has only come into the first team this season. He's got to be given time. And I am a huge fan of Keenan Davis. I support him all the way. But again, you got to look at his goal scoring record. It hasn't been great. And as much as I love the guy, I truly do love the guy. I love the way he plays. Holds up the ball brilliantly, but he's not a goal scorer. If we're going to go two up top, that's amazing. But we don't have anyone on our bench that looks like they can come in and instantly drastically impact the game and change it. That's one problem with the club for me. I think we need to look to add some depth, maybe some young talent, maybe some young flair, someone like an Eberechi Eze, except let's not spend $20 million for someone to warm our bench, please. Don't have that kind of money to throw around in January. I could be wrong, though. I wouldn't mind that. But there is a dilemma at Aston Villa, and that dilemma... Hold on, let me fix the camera. And that dilemma is the center-back position. Tyrone Mings, I think we can all agree, he is a phenomenal player, and honestly, clearly the best center-back at Aston Villa. That's why he's in the England setup, of course. But he wasn't at his best against Man United, and he wasn't at his best against Crystal Palace. Should he have been slotted straight back into this Aston Villa team? Personally, for me, I think not. Courtney Hause, again, is a left-footed centre-back who can slot perfectly in for Tyrone Mings. Him and Konsa have done a job, of course. Did a great job against Chelsea, in my opinion. The only problem is they couldn't contain the aerial threat of Giroud, but not many people can. And for me, I'll say this with pride, right now, Courtney Hause is the best centre-back at Aston Villa. I know I might get some hate for that, but that's just my opinion. Konsa, he's a phenomenal player. He's an immense presence in that Aston Villa back line, but he's just coming off an illness. He hasn't looked quite up to the phenomenal standards. He hasn't put a foot wrong, but he hasn't done too much. He's had that amazing reflex goal line clearance against Chelsea, and for me, he's the only mainstay centre-back right now. You can't take Ezri Konsa out of this Aston Villa team for me. But I'm going to cover this all in depth in another video coming very shortly on this PJC Dubs channel, so make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell on as well. Give me to 250 subscribers as soon as possible. Enough of the self-promotion. Let's get into some other key performers in today's clash. I thought Matt Targett was very good, especially in the first half. He was one of our brighter sparks, especially towards the beginning of that first half. Although he did get caught out a little bit far up the pitch for the Martial goal, of course. But Matt Targett was very good for me today. He made some very important cleared headers away from Rashford. Contained him pretty well, considering Rashford probably has the pace on Matt just by a little bit. but he also linked up forward play as well and made some crucial slide tackles and put his body on the line in general, something we didn't see a lot from Matt last season. Obviously, we always knew he had the skill, we always knew he had the ability, we always knew he could link up play, but this season he's really showing a killer mindset to get in front of the ball and just put his body on the line for this Aston Villa team, and I love that from you, Matt. Well done. So to conclude, it was just a frustrating game for Aston Villa at Old Trafford, of course. Just what could have been, really. It was a bad penalty decision, in my opinion, by the referee. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And it was just a frustrating game. We didn't take enough chances. We didn't have enough firepower coming off the bench. And Man United just sat back, and to be fair to them, played well and took their chances. I personally thought we were the better team in the whole of the match, but that's, of course, going to be biased because I am an Aston Villa fan, of course. Star performers, Matty Cash, my man of the match, absolutely brilliant from him today, was absolutely immense, both going forward, whipped in some amazing crosses. Why isn't he on set pieces as well? The one set piece he took was absolutely pinpoint into that corridor of uncertainty, as Chris MD would call it. Shout out to Chris if you're ever watching this by some freak chance. But it was just a frustrating performance from Aston Villa. It wasn't a bad second half performance. It was actually a very good second half performance. It wasn't a terrible first half, but that's not what we're about. We're about good performances, good, consistent performances. But we got to put this one behind us. We got to just move on to Liverpool in the Cup and Tottenham in the Premier League. Let's get them. Gonna do some more videos, and of course I have that centre back one coming up, like I mentioned earlier, and some other original ideas. All my ideas are original, of course. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you want to see more original content on my channel, and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, and remember, up at the Villa.